This is just one of my favorite bottles, so this is, we're gonna this tonight. Keep your thumb on the top of the bottle. My cat. Oh, got cat hair machine. Okay, so now that we're kind of comfy, right? Let's talk. I saw a video today that I kind of loved. It was a girl, and she was basically venting. She's like, why am I making videos that nobody watches? And I used to ask myself that same question. I used to be like, why am I still vlogging? Like, my numbers aren't really going up, the analytics aren't really going up, it's not really getting better. And that's how it seems because you're comparing yourself to like others. The truth of the matter is, every day more and more people are getting online. They're coming onto YouTube and they're uploading videos. A lot of these videos are bad videos. You gotta think, it's everybody in the developed world, the developing world. Everyone is trying to create content, right? I would say if you have over 500 subscribers right now, you're in a pretty good place to like cultivate an audience and start making money on YouTube. I think you just have to hone in on your niche. This particular girl, she's kind of interesting. Like, she's just venting about her life. It sounds like she has a very like normal life. The funny part of it is like, I don't think she sees how unique her normal life is, especially as a Black girl. I think it's something that a lot of people just take for granted. Like, they just think that everybody in America just grows up and is like middle class. So far from the truth. It requires so much to like to be here. And I feel like I over and over and over I keep seeing people gaslight it. Like I feel like I've seen and heard certain influencers, I'll say like male bloggers, who seem to have some respect for waitresses, but a lot of them seem to not, right? And I had a table tonight that was very interesting because it was very clear, like, they were from Atlanta, and it was just like, it wasn't doing it for them. I think they think like less of waitresses. I don't know why. Because there's a ton of restaurants in Atlanta, so I know that there's like waiters and waitresses, servers who are doing well. I mean, I had a night last week. It's a crazy night. Like, I just had a really normal section, but I just like killed in that section. So in one night, I made like $1,000, and like the restaurant did like $30,000 the whole in one day. That's how much all of the servers collectively had earned in tips. Well, all of the wait staff, like the bartenders and the servers together in one day, that's a lot of money. That's a ridiculous amount. And that happened. So I would say that that's a respectable amount of money. And I'm not sure in what world you would look at someone who's, you know, just doing their career and their job and say like, oh, that is a very respectable wage, and it's a very respectable career path. So I don't know, it's just weird and awkward to see these people who are like, I guess they thought they were like really big and bad because they're like quote unquote business people. It's like always the middle managers who are assholes. You're just like, it's whatever. I will say this though, to that girl who I saw who asks the question, she's like, why am I making content when nobody's watching it? It's not that nobody's watching it. People are watching it. Maybe not all of the people who you want to watch it, but we are a small percentage of the population, first of all, and the Black female experience is extremely marginalized. So it isn't like this big desirable thing where everyone wants to like live this marginalized experience of a Black woman, because it's very scary and like trivial and just it's like frightening, right? Because you just have all these people trying to attack you, mostly men, right? So other women from other groups aren't like, yes, I want to live that experience too. They're kind of saying like, oof, no, I want to stay far away from that experience because I want to remain safe. And that makes sense. Like, other people deserve to want safety. Like, that makes sense. So yeah. But people care about, like, I care about what this girl has to say and what she's going through. And you know, I think I'm starting to actually realize how much people care actually about what I'm going through, because for all of the videos that I post that are like, it's like a whole bunch of videos that I made last year that I see people trying to prove wrong or whatever. Here's a take, and I'm just gonna throw this in. I'm not gonna make another video about this, but I made these videos last year where I was talking about how unattractive Rosalia is, how Americans see Tyla as Black, how all of these different things, right? And the reason that I think that this is kind of important, I see so many of these like media companies with the movies and they're trying to push this like multi-ethnic, multicultural American thing, and it isn't working because we all live in the real world. So like we all see the like racial segregation. It's not like a caste system necessarily, but like in my job, I'm like one of the few Black people who work in the building. I think there's like 3 of us now, or 4. There's like 4. There's like 1 in each department. Like I'm the only front of the house server. There's 1 bartender now. There's 1 manager. There's 1 guy in the kitchen. That's it. Like there's 4 of us, like 1 in each department. There's 1 host. So I mean, I don't know. On one hand, I could say like, okay, so there's not that many people who like want to do the job. That could be true. There's not that many of us who are qualified to do the job, because all of us have like worked in other places. Like we have work experience. I would also say that we're probably more emotionally intelligent than a lot of other people to be able to, navigate the space, which is a serious skill. Like just being able to come on here every night and like talk about things that are going on in my life, because there actually are things that are going on in my life. I mean, that's a whole ass bag of tea, right? Like some people don't even have shit going on in their life, so there's no song to sing. Like what are they gonna sing about? That's what's so strange about, I think, rap and R&B to an extent. It's like people who haven't been in relationships long enough to actually have experience in love, lust, sex, anything. and they're like trying to tell other people, give them advice or something. What are you giving advice about? You don't know anything yet. You don't know how to do anything. Like, honestly, what the fuck are you, who are you advising? This doesn't make any sense. It's weird. It's fucking weird. Another thing I think is so strange, I really feel like people have tried to take the tax off of beauty, like attractive people. People who have, you know, normal or a normal body weight, okay? People who exercise, and people who take care of their skin, and people who don't use drugs, you know, people who take care of their hair. Things like that. And they're trying to make it seem like that everyone has that. Oh, it's not that great. Yet as you look out into the world, everybody's like dying of cancer. They're morbidly obese. They don't have any hair. Their skin is full of acne. Everyone is like, has a fucked up gut. And they're trying to tell everyone else, oh, this is so easy to get. Is it? If it was really that easy to get, then how is it that all of you don't have it? I don't know. It's kind of frustrating. A lot. A lot, really. It's frustrating. Whatever. I hope that the small YouTubers just keep going. That's all I can tell you. Like, right? Don't do what everyone else is doing. Just stay in your own lane. All of the things that you're going through right now are normal, and it's hard to realize that it's supposed to feel like this, and it's really strange because like you haven't seen anyone who's like felt like this before. Maybe there's no one on TikTok who's saying the thing that you're going through. But don't let them gaslight your reality and move it away from the fact that like that's really what you're going through, because like that's fucking real. Like everyone isn't gonna relate because they just don't. They're not like supposed to. Right? Just find the anomalies. Like there's always going to be someone who's like not a part of like the thing that like everyone else is a part of. Like one of my tables today said like, oh my god, you're so patient. I'm not really patient. I just know, I understand the ways of the world. Like I will always and forever have engineer brain. Like you don't get rid of it. What that means is like I see the long term. I look at the end of the road. Like I look at the finish line, right? And I like understand what it takes to get to the finish line. And most of the time, like 99% of the time, if I'm doing something, I've already made the choice to get to the finish line. Otherwise, I just wouldn't be wasting my time doing it. I'm not gonna start something and I'm just not gonna finish. Like if I start it, I'm probably gonna see it through, even if it's like arduously long, which is why I'm still doing YouTube. When I started, it was very difficult. I didn't understand anything and I was going through a lot. Let me say that again. I didn't understand anything and I was going through a lot. Like I would just turn on the camera and just start talking. Just be like, blah, 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 blah. This way. It was like, it was totally vlogging. It was totally vlogging. And there were so many things that I'm interested in. I heard this from the other girl who was like making that video. She's like, there's so many things that I want to say. Well, why don't you say them? Say them. We do want to hear them. She was like, oh, my girlfriend doesn't want to hear it. My parents don't want to hear it. My friends don't want to hear it. But you guys want to hear it. Facts. The people who are watching a YouTube channel want to hear it. because they want to hear something that the people in their real lives are not saying. They want to hear you talk about something uncomfortable. They can get the popular opinions at work. They can get the popular opinions from their friend group. But they can subscribe to your channel, put on their headphones, and zone out or zone in to the shit that you're saying. Nobody else is saying that. You have power to pull someone into your world. It wouldn't be there if you didn't tell the story, if you didn't curate the thing. And like, you get to do that, and that's really fucking cool. It's really cool. Really. I hope more people understand that. I want you to understand that.